It is indeed a good morning. Yes, we're waking up nice and early. If you didn't wake up before now, I hope you are. Of course, it's been raining. I love, love, love weather like this because it's just nice, not too hot, not too cold, and we are ready to take on the day. This is the Vault. I'm your girl, Myra Maloba, the African Queen. We also got in studio.
Yeah, it's the beat maker, not the beat taker. 10 fingers in the air, representing. If you don't know, you better ask your mama. That's how we do it here.
Ask her.
Yeah. Today is the tea and coffee day. That's how we're representing straight up hip hop all the way.
Right. Now, we also got our guest in studio is going to be coming in just a little bit. Of course, we have to give you the roundup. But before we get into that, I got to remind you to always follow us on Icon Radio KE platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. All at Icon Radio KE. We're also on TikTok, LinkedIn. Yani, we got you everywhere. Threads, Kilamali. Follow, like, subscribe. Of course, check into YouTube where we have our comment section over there. Just join into the conversation. And our WhatsApp number is +254 788 380030. Use the hashtags, of course, the Vault, Icon Radio, and Icon Radio KE. We got you covered. Yes, a lot has happened in hip hop in this past week. First of all, we had the news of Keith D, who's been just ratting on himself. Yani. He's just been over there writing books, doing interviews, and just talking about the fact that he was somehow involved in the killing of Tupac. So 2018 have been like, in 2018 the cops were like, oh, kumeni wewe, as he's left all these breadcrumbs for guys to follow. And then now finally they're like, okay, now we have a case. It's no longer cold. Let's go after this guy. And as of last week, they arrested him finally.
Why is he confessing now?
Apparently it's not now.
But
as in for you to be able to have written a book, it's something he's been talking about.
so now he really wants to go in.
Yeah, he's going in.
But he really wants to go in.
I don't know if he wants to go in.
Did
I think
he
maybe
avail himself, or was he called out?
well, I think he wants to sell his book, to be honest.
Yeah, he wants to be another Suge Knight.
Now, the funny thing you mentioned, Shug now is saying that you have the wrong guy. I'm not testifying against this guy. He's a good guy. He's not the guy who killed Park. There's somebody else who's out there, and guys are like, what are you talking about? First of all, Shug gets on my last nerve. Okay, he has this, yes, he has this god complex that he has control every aspect, including somebody who's been saying, "I killed Tupac."
But that's how he remains relevant.
I think so too.
He's in jail, but he controls the scenario from jail. He's not the only one who's done that.
He's very narcissistic.
And it's like people have accused him for the longest time because he was in the car with Tupac that he had something to do with it. They always said that, but it's never been proven. Really.
It's never been proven, but I honestly feel also as well, again, he tried to control Snoop. Snoop has talked about it the longest time. He could try to control Dre and the whole Death Row records.
If you remember, like Tupac wanted to leave Death Row, and then he came up with this thing called Death Row East.
What? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so he was like, he wanted to go a different direction in the movies and still music.
Right.
And so he wanted to leave because Death Row is West Coast.
Right.
So he's like, well, why don't we do Death Row East Coast and you run it?
Right.
And so he was actually on his way out. And then after that, of course, there was all this fracas. And then he died. But these artists who are, let me say, extroverts, like Tupac, they never really live long. They never live. The guys who have the big mouths, they talk a lot. Either they fall sick or something happens to them and they die. Like, remember Muhammad Ali? Like, he got Tourette's or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like...
Not Tourette's, it was... it's either MS, the one where you shake a lot. I can't remember what it's called.
But it's funny, all these guys who are so elaborate, like, you don't hear about them. The guys who are quiet, like Nas, are still alive. And then that's when people say Kanye West is going down that pathway. That's what they're saying now. He's going down that pathway.
I mean, if he was to go down that pathway, it will just, again, fuel all these rumors of Illuminati and trying to silence him And Hollywood, for the longest time, have tried to refute all these claims. Man, my morning has been spent just watching about all these conspiracy theories about the Illuminati. I've been dragged into that dragnet yet again.
But if someone were to ask you what is Illuminati, what would you say it is?
Again, there's no clear distinction.
Can
apparently,
anyone actually say this is what Illuminati is, and this is where we can find them, and these are their beliefs?
Apparently, it's something that came out in the 1800s. Okay, it was something that was outlawed. I think it was in the French, whatever. It was outlawed, and now
it was like a secret society.
It was, and then now they were outlawed, they became the secret society, and now it is becoming the new world order. They were causing chaos with wars and stuff, and benefiting from them. That was their main cause. But then now, when you come into now the modern age, now it's about Satanism, and that has been included into the conversation as well. So again, it's just like this whole reggae story that's happening with these kids. Mass hysteria. People build up of mass hysteria a lot, and they are able to benefit and profit from it. And this whole Illuminati thing is profitable. It's something you can write off of.
It is. People forget that also Ku Klux Klan was profitable.
Exactly.
You know, and the thing was they used to ride around and do crazy stuff, hangings and all that stuff. But the thing about them that was strange is they take these pillowcases and cut up, and you just see their eyes and all.
Right. They were looking like modern day Caspers. Like it's just crazy.
How much it was, and I'm sure very soon people are gonna try to bring that issue back in a modern 2023. That's what happens. They take the old and make it new.
Exactly. So, with the Tupac story, it's still left hanging in the air. Nobody really knows what's what. Keith D is saying he did it. Suge is saying no, he didn't. But of course, everybody wants closure. Everybody around the world wants closure, because clearly now we know at least.
But you know why that story is so difficult to break down for Tupac is because he did go for that Mike Tyson fight, and apparently his chain was stolen before, and he was told that's the guy over there, and he went and had it out with him, and then shortly after that, he's dead. So all these years, that's what they bring it to do with gangs. That's what they've said. It's always had to do with that specific guy. And he was associated, I can't remember, I think it was the Bloods.
He's called Anderson, Orlando, and it was the Crips.
No, it was the Crips because Suge was aligned with the Bloods.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like all these years, they said it had to do with that. So now for this guy to come forward and say, hey, I'm part of this. It's me.
Right.
It seems also like who is he aligned to?
Exactly. It changes the narrative just a little bit. So of course there's a lot of confusion. He's already been arrested, soon to be arraigned. So we wait to see how this story will play out. But apart from that, there's a leaked documentary of Kanye West. I think this is the time when he had married, what's her face?
Liz.
This Chile, Kim.
Oh.
Yes, so that's the time he had married her.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, and that's the time his bipolar syndrome was really taking shape, if you remember.
Medicine for it.
And he was refusing to take medicine. You're thinking it's mind control, whatever. But then now he's talking about all these guys. He's talking about Nas. He's talking about Cardi B. He's talking about,
What's that song you did that Nas was on with Cop?
With who?
The song that he produced that Nas was on.
Okay.
And he said Nas ruined that song.
Yeah, like he was just talking a lot of crap. Okay. This is the time also he ran away to Idaho, and everybody was trying to get him out of it and stuff. This time he went a little bit, his bipolar kicked in a lot.
But I think his bipolar really kicked in like properly when his mom died.
Yeah, that was the genesis.
Yeah.
But then now when you go into when he went into bidding to be a president and all of that,
I remember that.
That kind of like, and I think you're still going through that grieving process, and nobody truly understood who Kanye was at that point. And of course, everything was rife. But they also took the time at that particular point, just again like they did Jesus, to document him. And during this documentation of what he was doing, what he was saying, of course, he wasn't really being too kind to the hip hop community. Yeah. So he called Cardi B an industry plant, right after, of course, praising her. And he's written stuff for her as well. Yeah. And, she was just like, how do you come from praising me to calling me an industry plant for the Illuminati. Okay, because she doesn't write her own stuff. He also went after Nas. When one other artist, Talib Kweli, was not too impressed. You know, Talib has gotten into war of words with Kanye, and Talib has done stuff with.
They used to do music together.
Yeah, they used to do music together with him. Was deaf, and then all of a sudden they're getting into it. Together with the artist and producer Consequence, who is part of also Good Music. So of course, this documentary is not shedding the best light on Kanye. It's also just showing how people also treated him during that time. Remember, he moved a song with Lil Pump, Lil Pump, and you know he tried to show that song off to one of the Smiths, and it wasn't being taken so well. So it goes to show like how much unserious people were also taking him in the industry. It's not the best documentary to have come out for him right now.
But I think he does have a point about Cardi B.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, okay, about the Illuminati, her being planned, I don't know about that.
Right.
But I do believe that as most artists are created to go against another artist.
Right.
So I do believe that her career was pointed in that direction.
Right.
Because Nicki had been in the scene for some time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the same thing with like Lil Kim and the ones. There's always something going on. You know, and so I think at the end of the day, though I feel like Cardi B is, a lot of people underrate her a lot. You know, because she doesn't write her own music. It's true. But she's not the only rapper in the world that doesn't write her own music who's had music that's come out. You know, but I feel like they feel like she's not a real artist. You know, they feel like Nicki is more of the artist. Nicki has gone through the fire and come out.
Right.
And so I feel Nicki gets the rating, you know, of how music should be done.
Right.
You know, and there's always someone that's gonna be put up against someone else.
Right.
You know, in the hip hop community.
Right.
And I just feel like he feels that like she's not on point. She doesn't have it. She doesn't have the goods.
Yeah.
For the industry. You
right.
know, and who she's aligned to. You know, Kanye has a lot of conspiracy theories though.
Right.
He has so much. People can say it's on the bipolar. They can say it's something else. But he has a lot of conspiracy theories of what he feels, and he's really adamant about it. I remember there's a time that Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're not going for his wedding.
Right.
And he went crazy.
Yeah, he went a bit crazy. I think, again, it just, like you always have that one friend who is not just quite right. Yeah.
So Jay-Z tried to kill him.
Me, the conspiracy theories I've been watching, maybe it's true, okay?
He said he tried to and it's like, he was almost like crying, and it's like, people like, okay, this is too much, like he's too extra.
Do you know the funny thing is, people might think he's crazy. People might think he's actually crazy, but there could be some truth to what he's been saying.
That's why I say everyone was coming. Society has had something about them. At one time, remember, Malcolm X was excommunicated
and made to look crazy as well.
Yes, he was made everywhere he went. In fact, they shunned him everywhere he went. The whole Islam community, they shunned him.
Right.
You know, and then the FBI was always monitoring him, and so
right.
And so they made him look like he was insane. Even the people who were close to him decided dissociating themselves from
exactly him. The whole Nation of Islam as well disassociated
even
themselves.
Mike Tyson talks about that the way they're always looking for a villain. So Mike Tyson was, you know what, these people are always looking for a villain to pin something on, so guess what, I'm gonna become that villain. That's what he decided. Same thing happened with Chris Brown,
right,
with the Rihanna issue,
right.
He was being dissed all the time. Then he said screw, he got tired defending himself. He's like, screw it. And that's when he removed Deuces.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know what, this is what they want from me, then that's exactly how I'm gonna act.
Let's give it to them.
Yeah, so that happens a lot with these. You reach a boiling point.
Yeah.
And when you get there, there's no coming back.
Exactly. So for Kanye, I think you took him the way you took him. It's up to you. Your narrative of him is your problem. It's not his problem. And I think he's one of those guys of, I said what I said and I'm not taking it back. Okay. And he'll still go on to sell records. He'll still go on to make news in one way or another. And he'll still go on to top charts. It's only that, of course, it's sad to see that, he's not longer getting along with a lot of people.
I think he has opinions.
Yeah.
And he stands by them, whether you like them or not.
Yeah.
But when you look through history, he's not the only one. Even in Africa,
Right.
we had Idi Amin.
Right.
You know, it was crazy though, but in a way. But some people said he was also a genius.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Exactly.
They thought he was crazy when he would try to ask the queen to marry him.
Yeah.
You know, so
even if even very own G Rongi is on the way, people he's not very popular with his opinions. Yeah, but he speaks a lot. Sometimes he speaks a lot of facts that people tend to understand because he comes out strong about whatever he's saying.
Now, my quote coming from the beatmakers is, my thought is this: you have to be unpopular to be popular. That's how it goes down. Because if you were just like, for example, a good example is Nas. Nas has a lot of deep thinking. When he rhymes, you're like, okay, that makes some sense. But there's a lot of guys who just feel like he's a goody two shoes.
Who's that? Nas.
Yeah. And then they'll follow. They won't even. They'll like what Nas raps, but they'll follow 50 Cent more. You know, because 50 Cent is like another person. He just says his mind.
Exactly.
And whether you like it, you don't like it, he
exactly.
doesn't care.
It's hard to get rid of such people because, of course, they'll speak their mind. And again, nobody wants to fuel these conspiracy theories. But of course, I think it's something that exists in one way or another. It doesn't have to be called the Illuminati, but there are secret societies that try to control things because that's man likes controlling things.
But okay. I want to ask one question to the viewers who are listening. I want to ask, here in Kenya, who do you think speaks their mind? And no one gives a crap about what they're saying. Like, they don't care. They don't want. One of the guys that I know speaks his mind, and he looks to be insane, is Miguna.
Right.
And it's like he's like another Kanye in a way. And then some of the things he says happen, become true. Right. Some don't happen.
Right.
You know, and so I'm asking, who do you really feel?
That's a good question.
You can follow and be like, okay, this person is above board. Like they can look crazy, but are they speaking the truth? What's about to come?
Right. Like I'm telling you, like G Rongi is over here always talking about his conspiracy theories. The time I looked back, I was like, you might be right.
Not about Ukraine.
As in, like, he always bring it up. And when Shushi, we're like, no, okay, another time. But he's been right.
And that's just the way. There's always gonna be someone when you bring out a point who'll be like, nah, I don't agree with that.
Right.
But then later on they'll come and say you are speaking sense.
Right.
You know,
this is life. It's life. All right. On that note, I think we can't go enough into this story. I think it needs a part 1, part 2, part 3. But for now, we're going to go into the break. And when we come back, we'll be coming back with our guest, Ital Candy, in studio. So excited to have this conversation with her. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, be sure to hit us up on +254 788 380030 on the YouTube channel where we are live. Hit us up on the comment section. Let's get back into the music with Alexa, the DJ. Will be back right after this.
That's your mother stand, I'm a youngster. Overstand in the non-stop. One of the it's more ital. Na maya ndani ya game ndio kuoner. Display hizo pembe hazitajamer. Zao ni macho tunani kodoner. Haters disappear like vapor. Akili zipasukia boka kizishonelea. Rhyme straight yasiza kunyemenyemelea. Rhymes ganga kwenanga kama air. M1 ubada. Flow straight nasiza kunyemenyemelea. Rhymes ganga kwendanga na kama air. And then kama air. Kama air. In your rasta, I'm a gangster. That's your mother stand, I'm a youngster. Overstand in the non-stop. One of the it's more ital. In your rasta, I'm a gangster. That's your mother stand, I'm a youngster. Overstand in the non-stop. One of the it's more ital. Our pen the magi and the manake na wa osha. Vibes ni kali amungare na chuja. Flow high huzifikia hata na chuma. Bafana dai kurudi ocha na bako ocha. A super why not go down wanna bow kama maika. Bubble it around to the dunda Jamaica. Wanna die sapa pe dem hanjam zaki aita. Good panziki like it should be a lighter. Me fans to cut tighter kabut na bra tighter. Wada da 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 ka refine a fighter. Na kuwa mkima huru na kunde goni malaita. Watu wangu wanguvu toka tume wanaisa. Ital Candy on this. Them for know this. Siate nene. Boomba. In your rasta, I'm a gangster. That's your mother stand, I'm a youngster. Overstand in the non-stop. One of the it's more ital. In your rasta, I'm a gangster. That's your mother stand, I'm a youngster. Overstand in the non-stop. One of the it's more ital. In your rasta, I'm a gangster. Who them? What if that know it's Ital Candy pan the thing there?
West side.
Now usi jidu.
You're crazy.
Kujitambua is a must. Kujiinua is the plan. Stay true. Hata kama them na feel you. Just guidance not in the daily, not in the everywhere. No matter what one day, you always pay. No matter what bonge, till them in a care. Cause it comes through. You live this one life, now waste it. Living a lie, tell them my best. Who say take down God? Yeah, live by your means, not yes, it not the taste. Man, careful when you touch like fire. Careful when you play with that fire. Cause you gonna get burned down. Mankind, careful when you touch like fire. Careful when you play with that fire. Cause you gonna get burned down. Face life as it comes and they take it. Count on a blessing and embracing. Every day is a lesson learned. Face life as it comes. Count on a blessing. Every day is a lesson learned. Stay true, aye. Good things will come through, yeah. Trust in your work, trust in your worth. For believe who will be fool, aye. Stay true, aye. Great things will come through, yeah. Trust in your work, trust in your worth, trust in your word, yeah. Boom. Kutitambua is a must. Chop and boga. From dust till down. Big and boga. Dreams are kuomoka, dreams are kuchomoka. Things getting tougher.
We're back on the vault. You were listening to Ital Candy. Welcome to the studio. Now we'll have you sit closer to the microphone.
Thank you.
Manze, it's been years. Karibu sana. Tumekuwa tukisema as in, if there's one person we need to get into this studio, it has to be Ital Candy. Yani, for those who knew you back in the day, you're just Candy. Ulikuwa unafanya hip hop, ulikuwa huku fulani mau. Just kidogo introduce yourself and then tell us about your journey.
Okay, my journey first, Ital Candy. Making dancehall, reggae, roots artist. Na pia kote hata hip hop kikuja nayo. Hata kuna nilianzia started from hip hop uko fulani mau. Back then I used to call myself Candy. Kasonga nikajita dancehall Candy.
Dancehall Candy.
Yes. So now that's the time nilikuwa na join dancehall.
Yes.
Yeah. Hooked up with the man bad man Buff Chafu. Unamjua? Ndio akaniambia Candy, hii sauti yako ya dancehall. Jaribu uone vile itakuwa. And from them tukashikana na yeye and that's it mpaka sasa hivi. Samigo ngatuli maridi dancehall, roots, reggae, sometimes hip hop.
Ni aje uliamini Badman paka uka shift, you made the entire shift from hip hop to dancehall. Na pia you know the writing styles are different, the way of doing music is different. Ni aje ulimwamini kabisa ukasema sawa, let me just go into dancehall?
Nilimwambia mimi patwanda izana nayo. Unaona vile ni ngumu. So amekuwa akinifundisha ananiambia first of all nilikuwa sikiza itakuwa inaweza sound funny ukipana patwana uitoi vile inafaa kutoka. Wala huko nje wanasikiza hizi vitu. So amekuwa akinifundisha back then kidogo. So I'm a little bit good at it. Si pale but naweza andika ngoma nayo na itoke. Na bado tunaendelea tu kulani.
Now mbona pia uli decide kuacha hip hop? There's a reason why uli decide okay, hip hop is not for me anymore.
Hip hop iko mbaya, iko on and off. Alafu hiyo timing pia. Timing, alafu hapo ndio niko nafuata na magroup tuko tumesettle mbali pamoja sema mimi kama Candy nimeamua na kupelekana na hii na hii project na hivi. So time yangu ilikuwa na mchezo mingi. Na maybe
we like to speak honestly in this space. Yani ile we just say the truth about the industry, the truth about
headbangers for a long time. And sema ngoma mingi ni zile zikuwa itoka. Ilikuwa itoka. So napo ilikuwa ile kibesti. Unaenda hujasign contract. Imekuja unasema acha niingie ndani. Yani haikuwa serious vile inafaa. Hiyo time. Unaona pia mtu akusema ati Candy hata nikupush nikushike mkoani nikwambie twende direction na ikuwe solid, ilikuwa ni ngumu hiyo time. So nasema tu hiyo time yote ilikuwa ni kujiprepare kimuziki.
Ilikuwa preparation.
Ilikuwa preparation. I regret hiyo journey. You have to start somewhere. Lazima pia ma ups and downs uwe. Learn along the way. So siwezi regret. Nafuria hapa nilianzia because kama singeanzia hapo singekuwa Ital Candy saa hii. Kimuziki nimegrow kiakili, kuandika, meditation pia imebadilika, vibe.
Now you guys actually share a history. You and Jimmy have produced songs pamoja. You've actually also shared a space pamoja. Ulifanya something with Waire pia. How was it interacting when you're starting with these different DJs? I mean, different producers, because one producer doesn't have the same style as the other one.
Exactly.
And I really liked the project you do with Waire. Paka nilikuwa nauliza Jimmy mbona hajakuja nayo, but I really liked the project you did with Waire. How was it working with the different producers? Because ulianzia Headbangers. So like, how's it been now working from that, especially now the crossover from hip hop to
experience ni tofauti. Experience ni tofauti. Alafu unajua pia kila producer akona tu mani ideas zake. Na guidance yake kukulidi kimuziki ni tofauti. Atakwambia si vile mtu mwingine atakwambia. Unaweza enda hata kwa producer wa dancehall ama hata hiyo reggae. Lakini zile mambo umekuja nazo hapa zipelekani na zake. Unaona? Ama ndio kwa producer hata akutoi makosa akwambie eti hapa kanti usifanye hivi yeye ndio tumemalizana amekula do yake na wewe umeenda. So experience lazima, that's why nimekuwa nikipenda in the past, nimekuwa nikitembelea producers different, napata experience different. Na so far pale nimetoa ngoma moja peke yangu, ngoma kama 2 peke yangu kwa producer mmoja, jumuenda kwa huyu ni huyo producer Drisa ndiye nimetolea the last 2 songs at least ziko huko nje. Na kuna producer anajiita Half Life Production, huyo naye nimetoa naye redeem kama 6 unaona. Lakini ziko slow tu, niseme tu kweli, haziendi vile inafaa. Sasa nikatoka hiyo side nikakuja kwa Drisa. So naweza record anyway, hata size just sign contract mahali niko freelance. So
when independent artist. Na niaje iko kwa where you're now working with niaje ulijoin uko fulani mama? That's a question. How did you find yourself kwenye hii kambi ya uko fulani?
Kambi nimelelewa nayo Dandora City. Nakumbuka hiyo time tukiwa tu kuna hangout na wakiwa na hiyo nini uko fulani mama academy hapo. Sasa ndio kina artist anajitaje Femi alitokea hapo hiyo time. So hapo ilikuwa nafuataga mimi, nilikuwa nganakanga tu na kwa mpenzi mtazamaji naangalia wasanii yoga hivyo labda sio ndio ndio kauna unaenda kuingia tu. Hizi muziki mimi niliingia kitambo hiyo time. Sasa nikajoin uko fulani, nikaanza kwenda nao ma studios na shows hapa na pale. Until that time ndio tukapata headbangers, ndio nikaja nikapata na Jimmy. Kuna tu watu wengi along the way, but uko fulani nianza kitambo au jaiacha uko fulani. Sasa siwezi kuambia niko wapi, to be honest. Naweza sema niko na siko ama siko na niko ama tani hivi nishatolewa.
Umetolewa na ujui.
Huyu hata si hip hop siku hizi, but hapana sijatoka hip hop. Sasa itakuja tu. Inachafua tu vibaya sana.
The same way. Like you never left.
Tena hata even better. Vile pesa tuko too much on to dance hall sana sasa.
Na the dance hall scene imekuaje? Imekureceive aje?
Then receive the buyer, to be honest.
Okay.
Naweza tenda kuwa. Lakini nasema imeni push. Because watu wameka masikio kwa ground na ngoma ziko kwa radio stations. Show kiasi hapa na pale kwa club. But tunaweza penda ikiwa zaidi ya hiyo. Sasa ni kujituma sasa. Sasa ni kujituma tu.
Na how many singles, albums tangu ulianza dancehall which year? 5 years. Takaribia maiki kidogo.
Sababu ni dancehall za first nikifanya ni hiyo nilishikana Half Life Production. Half Life Production amekuwa kitoa ma redeem, wanasambazia artists. So nimetoa redeem zao ka 6 7 kama sijakosea. Na from there nikaachana mambo ya redeem saa hiyo. Sababu sinakwambia sa Half Life kuna vile pia hao pia wanang'ang'ana pia kukuja come through. So nikaanza kuja kwa ma singles zangu peke yangu bila collabo and everything. So far niko na singles 3.
In fact kuna moja tulieka on our Instagram. I think kuna musical sheriff na I think somebody, I can't remember.
Hiyo sasa hiyo ndio inaitwa, hiyo ni gani? Hiyo ni pass and pass. Hiyo nao ni musical sheriff alinitafuta. Akanitupa studio na Shamiri pia ni artist namjua. Shamiri ndio aliproduce hiyo ngoma. Hapo sasa hapo niliwaka na sheriff. Sasa hii next ndio nikaitwa na Idris. Na pia kuna huyo producer jita Adere. Wadada something. Au pia niko na project iko jikoni. But hiyo haina haraka, niambo mtulie tu. Ready mashanitumia so bado tu kujipanga na ngoja kusikia kutoka kwao.
So hizi maridim hutokea pia, song ikitokea inatokea na video ama inatokea tu kwa ma clubs, kwa radio?
I think the fact that sasa mtu haja sign contract, tuseme binti alijiongea pande yangu. Unaona? Kabla last redeem tulitoa ilikuwa mpaka na Binti Afrika, Black Heart. Ilikuwa ile redeem ya
big names.
Tulikuwa hapo ndani. Hao walikimbia wakatoa ma video nini. So I think video wajishughulikia tu peke yako.
Unajishughulikia. Na the other artists when
na video ikishutiwa ya ngoma tulifanya sasa tukiwa wote. Mimi sikupatikana, siku around.
So
hiyo video ilifanywa ya last miss kwa.
So amko wengi. Femsis in the dancehall scene amko wengi sana.
But kwa dancehall
wameanza kuongezeka. So how do you see the scene right now? As in, cause tukiwa 2000s ilikuwa the biggest thing in the scene. Ikaanza kushuka kidogo kidogo. Sahii imeanza kupata hiyo steam tena, shows zinatokea kwa radio, zinatokea kwa clubs pia zimeanza kufanya dancehall shows. Ilikuwa zimekaa sana na reggae, but now at least dancehall pia inaanza ku just to get that steam. Unaonaje the scene right now? Is it something that is picking up or still needs time? It still needs time to grow.
Tukisema tuna need time, time now tumengoja. Tumengoja. Ni saa hii ama ni sasa hivi? Sasa tukisema nikingojea time, ni vile tu sasa saa zingine msemanga pia ni kujuana.
Yeah.
You understand? Because unaona tu muziki yako ume drop kitu tu kali.
Yeah.
Unaona unapata watu wanakusupport ni watu huko nje. Unaona kama mtu mmoja club atakusupport hapo TikTok.
Yeah.
Kuita ongea naye akutishu. Unaona? Lakini sasa mtu kama producer ama ule mtu mwenye mfanya naye kazi kwa studio akenda kama ile example nilikwambia, nimetuaridi na artist producer wana wale watu selected few.
Yeah.
Unaona kama shows kama unashindwaje ala. Mimi naamini pia mimi sauti yangu iko hapo, mbona si tu hizi
yeah.
Unaona?
Yeah.
So hiyo ndio nifanya pia nikalenga ma producer wengine.
Right.
Recently actually. Sasa nikaacha nikae tu kando nitembee na hata nijisimamie kivyangu. Nitegemea watu wengine wa decide vile kunaenda, na wewe pia uko na manjanja zako za una hiyo ya kuingia kwa industry na ubaya. So inabidi tu ufanye vitu peke yako.
What are their reasons? Because sielewi. There's a reason they picked you to be on the track. Mbona usikoe kwa show?
Sasa sitaki tu kuonekana. Sitaki kuchoma.
See, you're not mentioning them.
But hiyo vibe late, si vibe poa.
Yeah.
Na hata niliraise hiyo issue.
Yeah.
Na nikasema kwa mbona naona hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi.
Yeah.
Nika explainiwa na nika understand.
Okay.
Just na choice but to understand.
You have no
nika
choice.
Understand na nika learn na nikasonga.
So it's a learning, it's a growth.
Yes.
Growth period, growth season.
Regret hiyo ni yote nimepitia.
Yeah.
Na bora endelea tu nikilana.
Okay. So we need to take a short break. We'll be back with Ital Candy. If you do have any questions for her, be sure to hit us up on youtube.com/@Icon Radio KE. Would love to chop it up with you. We also have our WhatsApp number, that's +254 788 380030. Let's talk about it. Let's interact. Let's get to know more about Candy. We do have some messages already on our YouTube. Big shout out to Sharon Mwai, who is tuned in. We also have Alexa the DJ. Big shout out to you, who is of course been giving us mad mixes for this morning. He says, Ital Candy, mad, you're sick. He says, big up my Vault fam, mad respect to you, Alexa the DJ as well. If you do have anything to comment today morning, be sure to hit us up again. Let us know your thoughts, and let's get into the conversation right here on the Vaults.
caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire. You are now listening to the sounds of your quest. Hey, okay, hey. It's caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire. You are now listening to the sounds of your quest. Hey, okay, hey.
in studio with Ital Candy right here on the Vault, exclusively on the Vault. Of course, we have the privilege of having one of the most, I think you're one of the most hardworking people I've ever met in my life, to be very honest. Yani, ile hustle wu chapa, as in, it's very admirable. Even ilikuwa naambia I don't know who I was telling some time back. I think the concept of Uber ilianza na wewe. There's a time nilikupit, I think Tao ukasema, by the way, I have a car. Sifanya kitu at night, so might as well be ferrying people. Na the thing I like about you is that you push without yani kusikiza watu wengine. Yani what you feel is what you do. So it's an honor to have you here in studio.
Thank you.
And we want to delve now more into your music. Now, finally, Jimmy has a mic.
Yes, the beat maker here, another beat taker. 10 fingers in the air.
Finally, it's weird having you quiet over there.
Yeah. Sometimes quietness is good, man.
It's weird. It was weird.
But I will say, I've known Candy for some years.
Yes.
From the time I came from abroad.
Right. There's history here.
Yeah, actually, the track that you're talking about was recorded at Headbangers.
Oh wait.
Yes.
With down is Waire.
Yes, Waire, because I know Waire from I know Waire since he was 18.
Right.
When he was singing Swahili thong song for Cisco in Swahili.
What?
Yeah, that's what he used to do.
Yes.
I've known Waire because he was managed by Kina Big Ted, Big Kev, all those guys.
Right.
Dimples Entertainment at one point.
Oh my God.
So I knew him when he was straight out of high school.
Right.
The short hair guy,
Right.
the humble, the quiet guy.
Yeah.
And so now, and then when he came over to the UK, Necessary Noise, I reconnected with him again. They came to my studio to record with Nazizi and some Ugandan artists. I forgot the other guy's name. But I have the record at home. And so I was with Waire. So when I came back and I met Candy through Uko, especially through G Rongi, you know, they were always, if G Rongi was here, he would tell you the whole story.
Right.
I mean, I used to catch up with Candy and G Rongi, and he had this funny bike. He had Luminous.
Wait.
So, yeah, he had this kind of
motorbike,
like a moped kind of thing. Yeah. So whenever he used to go, he always used to be with Candy. So he was like, yeah, only 2 people can fit on this bike. And then that's how it was. So
wow.
So we decided to get in that studio that evening. So I called up Waire and said, hey, would you? And Waire is a humble guy. He's always like, cool. I can do that this time. So I think he came in around 9:30.
Nice.
And we put it. And so Candy only heard at that time we did the verse and we did Waire's.
Yeah.
And then we recorded. We didn't record the second verse there, unakumbuka. We recorded at True Black. Big Kev studio.
Oh, you went to the project file now too?
Yeah, because it was just that night session. G Rongi is also there for that night session, by the way. Also, Nani had passed through. Doobies was there.
Nice.
That time with his wife.
Yeah.
That time the lady had married.
Yeah.
So there were a couple. Even Kimia was there also. So there was a lot of guys in the studio that night.
How did it feel for you to have all those guys? Yani, that was hip hop royalty in one space, and you're recording that track. And let me tell you, I could feel Yani till today. I can hear that track in my head. I can hear your verse. I can, what was it called?
The one that Waire
with Waire
did on the collabo.
Yeah, the collabo you did with Waire. I can hear it in my head. I can hear your verse.
She hasn't heard it for years.
Yeah, I think. And I was hoping. I was hoping.
When we were in the studio,
I can.
That's years back.
Okay, I'll get it from Jimmy and send it to you.
Yeah, I still have it. That's like 2009.
He has everything he's ever done. Okay.
There's another recording.
That's why the show is called The Vault. Let me tell you the truth. The show is called The Vault is because there's a time we sat with Jimmy in his studio, and he started playing for me tracks, and then he's like, "Remember this one? You know, he had the whole of Dandora Banning, Nini Nini, and he had your music. He had stuff he had done with Akina, Unnecessary Noise." I was like, Manzi, you can't have this vault of music and you're not putting it out there. The things we hadn't even had.
There's even a track she's on with Gaza.
I don't even know that one.
With Gaza. We recorded at Steve Ominde's studio in Langata.
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually the last recording we did. That was the last recording we actually did with her.
He has all these files till today. But the one that stood up for me is the one you did with Waire. I think I need to send it to you. You just recollect yourself.
Neza penda Jimmy.
Yeah.
I would really, really, really love to have another chance with Waire. The other time nilikuwa ni hip hop.
Ilikuwa hivyo.
Dancehall Don Dada. Ni mtu wa reggae.
Let Candy not lie to you. The other part is that she really wants to get in the studio with what's taking her a minute is her boy, Levi Seal.
Wewe na Levi on one track.
Yes.
Inaweza kuwa collab mad.
Levi Seal have been nimekuwa nikitamani since then, hata time nikikuja kwa studio ya Jimmy kitu solo. Wapi huko Mombasa Road.
That time ilikuwa sio Kimau.
Nitafutie tu Levi.
Levi ako area. Levi lives with his reggae band.
Yeah.
And they perform all the time, and then he's based in Ruiru.
Right.
So he's easy to get hold of.
Right.
That's a phone call.
Yeah.
It's a phone call.
I think we should make these things happen. We actually it's time. Because again, you're in a studio that works. I think we should now make those collabos work.
But I feel there was a big movement of dancehall. Even when I came back from abroad, they kind of went down, as we said. For example, Levi had this album with Fireson. Remember? Fireson. All these guys who were around, they disappeared one by one. They just did. So now the dancehall, there's a new generation of dancehall artists right now. And I feel like dancehall kind of took a dip even internationally, but right now it's coming back.
It's coming back, yeah.
It's coming back, but it took a dip. Afrobeats kind of, what they say, Afrobeats is the step brother to dancehall. So, but the dancehall artists are there. Kenya has always had dancehall artists. Always had guys who are making moves.
Yeah.
You got to remember, in '98, I was hanging out at Guinness Power Jam, and this guy steps up to me, and he's like, "Yo, I was with this band called Destiny Band." He's like, "I really love what you guys are doing. How can I get with you in the studio?" You know what that was? That was Chameleon.
Oh, really?
That was Chameleon.
Oh, wow.
He was there with Baby Cool. Now imagine this is '98.
Wow.
Guinness Power Jam. What happened? They took that music, they took it all the way to Uganda. So even when I was in Uganda, I was working with like Peter Miles and other guys who were doing their thing.
Yeah.
Levi was on a track also with Peter.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they took a lot of that sound from Kenya.
Yeah.
Kenya is actually the birthplace in East Africa of this sound.
Right.
And so I feel like we need to get back to that.
Right.
Because dancehall is huge. When I was in high school, the place to go to was F2.
Right.
Yeah, like that. It's jam. Like everyone was there.
Yeah.
Even her, Markadem was saying he was a dancehall artist.
Yeah.
Lololova.
Remember?
Competitions.
In fact, times are easy.
Yeah.
Now, I think now it's better even for her to just use that mic. Let's put this on away a little bit. Let's see if she can hear you better than mic. Now, Candy, nimesikia makolabo mtakufanya with Waire. Who are the people you want to get in the studio? Taja sai so that we make it happen.
Haraka sana. First of all, Nazizi. That's my home girl.
Yeah.
But sasa hiyo time tulikuwa close, ilikuwa ni siku ya hip hop.
Yeah.
Sasa hii dance tujapatana at all. Yeah. Levi Seal, of course. Waire. Kuna mjamaa nimesahau jina yake. Anyway, ndamkumbuka tu. Next time.
Yeah.
But list yangu ni artist ka 6.
Yeah. Wow. Na for now unataka kwenda the solo route ama unataka kuingia na pia do an EP album ama what would you like to do now? Because now nikaa sasa you're back in it, you're ready.
Yeah, naweza penda album, mixtape.
Na which producers would you like to work with?
Sasa sijapata producer solid. Nakwambia mimi niko tu hapa hivi, unaona. Basi nikapata producer mpoa mwenye tunafanya tu kazi, it's about time.
Yeah.
Mambo za kupiga lap ziliisha.
would you be willing to work again with Jimmy?
Unajua subliminals. Kwanza kuna mtu anajua vizuri sana kimuziki kama huyu mjamaa. Kwa hivyo tutasumbuana.
But if I was watching to me, if
I
was going to work with Candy, almost all the guys she mentioned, I know all of them.
Right.
I know all of them personally.
Right.
You know, and I've been with them, most of them in the studio.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I feel Candy has always stood out for me, and she knows. In fact, I'll bring out a story that maybe she knows or she doesn't know.
Yeah.
When I came from abroad and I said I want to work with artists, I said Candy was the top of my list.
How did you find out about Candy?
Because through Girongi and Uko.
Okay.
And then Girongi got upset, and he said, "Yo ni ujinga." I remember. I remember that day he got upset. He was like, instead of working, because Girongi, I was supposed to work with him mainly.
Yeah.
So I'm telling him, let me work with Candy.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I still work with Girongi.
Yeah.
And other guys also,
Right.
like Kina Labala, you know, Agano, those guys, still work with them, man.
Yeah.
But there was that thing. So I feel what Candy's saying is true. She needs that production house and that management. Luckily now doing videos is not as hard as it was a couple of years ago.
Right.
You know, there's so many avenues to do good videos. There's a lot of good video even producers right now that we have in Kenya. There's a lot of good video producers that are aligned to Icon Radio.
Right.
That we work with.
Yeah.
So I feel that's not even as hard it was. And now social media is off the chain. It's not what it used to be.
Right.
You know, those days it was just YouTube.
Yeah.
Facebook, YouTube, that's it.
Right.
Yeah. So there's so many avenues, and I feel also Kenya has those female dancehall artists, but no one really knows about them. That's one of the big problems,
Right.
And we had this discussion even with guys like Erko Naina, and what we were talking about this whole thing, that whole movement, even Levi Seal, I've had this discussion so many times with him,
Right.
about this issue, you know. And so I feel like the thing is, if I was to get on a project with Candy, I'd make her the main focus, and these other people that she's talking about just contributors,
Right.
to her career.
Right.
You know, that's what I think.
You've listened to her music. She's still a big presence also within the genre she has picked. It's first of all hearing that from the beatmaker. How do you feel?
The beatmaker unamwaminia from back then.
Yeah.
Nimemwaminia kabisa.
Na amekuamini pia, amesema it's you backed by everybody else. See that you're in the same track with somebody else doing a collabo.
Na siku give up, Jimmy. Over 2 years, right?
Yeah. Every time to
hata more than 2 years. Niko tunamfuata tu siku give up.
Hata Myra anaweza sema hivi, over the last couple of years we always said Candy ako wapi.
Yeah, we've actually been asking you about you because it's about time.
And then G Rongi alisema this one is exactly ameingia doba.
Bas.
Sasa nikiingia doba ndio hivyo.
Lazima. Even that marriage between dancehall and hip hop imekuwa for the longest time. Yani there's some things you can't leave behind. There's some roots you can't leave behind because there's always that marriage always.
Kwanza hata actually mimi ndio sijaweka masikio kwa ground vizuri, but sijasikia mtu ametoa dancehall hip hop collaboration.
Oh, really?
Sijasikia. Umesikia?
By the way, sijasikia. Sijasikia.
Hiyo ndio kitu pia natamani kufanya.
By the way, that's a good one. Sijasikia in Kenya.
Hata mimi sijasikia.
That would be a good. Hiyo itakuwa dope sana.
Dancehall hip hop inaweza sana.
Inaweza.
Maybe see like he did dancehall hip hop.
With who?
He did it back in the days. He was just testing the waters,
Okay.
But he didn't really. There's a track he did. I have it.
Yeah.
It's him and Cannibal.
Okay.
We recorded in Mombasa.
Okay.
But
Cannibal also has that dance.
Yeah, but then he went like his gospel now, he went quiet on that thing. But then it was like Levi still kind of just tested it. But then Levi came back about a few years ago and did a song called, I think, Straight to the Top.
Right.
It's on YouTube,
Right.
So that one is with a hip hop beat, but now he's just doing patwa on it. That was I think that was under Rizai's production.
Right.
Yeah, but then he doesn't do it consistently, he does it once, then you won't hear about that for very many years, and then you'll do it. So it's not consistent. So you can't really say it's you know the way Nas and Demi Marley did Distant Relatives, that was dancehall and hip hop.
Yeah.
But Kenya, we don't have any of that at all.
So if it was dancehall and hip hop, which artist would you love to get on a track with?
Dancehall hip hop. Ngeanza na G Rongi. Mtunguya kutoka kitambo. Ngeanza na G Rongi na hip hop. To be honest, sijaka masikio yangu chini vizuri kusikiza wasanii wa hip hop wale wako top side. Najua wako. Yes, nilikuwa focused kwa dancehall sana.
Yeah.
Lakini siwezi mind watu wa kitambo. Unajua pia Saudi kule umetoka.
Yeah.
Unaona?
Yeah.
Mtu kama Abbas nasikia aliendaga, though niko na ngoma na Abbas.
Yeah. Oh, uko nayo?
Yes.
Okay.
Lakini hiyo time siku za headbangers.
Yeah.
Niko na ngoma na Abbas, naweza penda hiyo
collab.
Inaweza
kwa kali sana. Inaweza kali.
Jua Abbas vibe yake kutoka kitambo nimekuwa tu nimemranga.
Yeah.
So yeye na dancehall kama kwa dancehall. Hata hip hop yake anaweza peleka hata sound dancehall. Abbas can do anything.
He's actually in Kenya, do you know that?
Dope.
He's been in Kenya for some time.
For some months.
Oh,
since last year. Yuko.
Tafuta.
It's time.
Huyo unaweza penda kuamka naye kasa.
Yeah.
Na unapilaje juu ya Gengeton?
Gengeton pia na pia wale wa moto. Alikiambia G Rongi, unajua na majamaa bana tupatane nao tutuetuka ka Gengeton kengine kakali.
Tena wewe na Mbogi, I think it will be very nice.
Mimi sasa tu mimi niko on. Niambia kuna beat siwezi kill, si ati sema na ubaya.
Bas.
Yeah.
Love it.
So Lena come to.
So what is the future for Candy? What do we look forward to when it comes to Ital Candy?
Kimziki. Kimziki saizi kuna ka project fulani though bado iko jikoni. Mana Badman Bafu Chafu. Anataka kuanza project na jita Gali and Roses. Tuli-try some years back na ikuenda vibaya. So now saya yako back in the country. Alikuwa away for a few years.
Okay.
So vile amerudi tunataka kuiamsha. So that's what he's been working on.
Okay.
Try organize a few shows kadhaa tao. Let kuintroduce your Gali and Roses kuona kama pia crowd ita come through.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So to decide to work on that.
Very nice. Now, in terms of dancehall and female energy, how would you like the scene to look like, especially kuja kwa shows? And because I have to be honest, I haven't seen a lot of dancehall, especially representing females. For a promoter who's listening and out there, how would you like for a show to look like in future?
First of all, naweza penda kusema kwanza madancehall madem wale wako saizi kwa ground waamke tu.
Yeah.
Na pia naweza penda kwanza tuseme kuna dancehall artist na kuna hardcore dancehall artist. Sasa mimi nasema mimi ni hardcore dancehall artist. Okay. Na bado pia tunaweza go soft, lakini sasa sauti nao pia tu ni mbaba. Yeah. Unaona? But artist kama hao ndio wanataka wainuke tu. Unajua mi talent iko. Wako huko chini madem, sijui nikaoga kagani madem wako nayo. Unaona juu sasa ukiingia kwa dancehall na reggae industry sasa hata ukiingia kwa hizi ma shows na nini hata kwa vilabu hata kwa interview na kila kitu. Sasa hizi MC ndio wako juu kuliko artist.
Yeah.
MC ana fan base hata kuliko artist. Hata ma DJ. Wewe artist uko tu hapo. Ma shows mengi ukiangalia tu watu wana travel Qatar, Dubai wapi ni ma MC na ma DJ wana travel si artist.
True.
Na sasa at the end of the day uko na mangoma zako zinachezwa tu huko. Wewe uko tu mta. Mimi naweza penda hizo vitu zichange. Watu wajiamini, mtu kama mimi sasa nijitokezee sasa hizi na ubaya, unaona na uhadi kwa dancehall yangu. Na tuchange vitu. Unaona nisaidie pia mademu wengine kuinuka na pia ma DJ na ma MC wache kutubebeba hivyo. Juu pia sisi tunaweza fanya zile tu wanaweza fanya.
Wabebe sasa kwenda Qatar na UAE.
Wachanga kutuachanga huku nyuma. Unaona wacha sasa wanaendaga huku wanaenda kucheza ngoma zetu huku alafu wanakula madoo huku sisi
that's true.
Inside, unaona. Ama mtu anakwambia hadi kuja ushika mic club fulani dakika 2 dakika 3. Lakini unaenda tu umetumia sijui mauba nini yani inakuwa ni kama tu unaenda tu kufresha tu asi. Hatukatai sababu ni passion kitu napenda kufanya. But inafika pale pia ma platforms zimekuwa mingi. Unaona miaka imesonga. Unaona watu washakubali muziki, editions zinacheza muziki. So to change sasa. Tunashare hii kitu.
Love it. Jimmy, do you have any words you'd like to as we close out?
I think Acha niseme this, I'll ask Candy your opinion. Ital Candy. What is the Ital Candy?
Ital Candy.
Ital is vital.
Ital is vital.
Yes.
Love it.
So, wona naji like juzi kulikuwa hii beef. Yeah, Femi one.
Yaisikia.
Anaitwa Snyder Dondada. Funny enough, si ulikuwa anaitwa Dondada pia.
Bado anaitwa Dondada still.
So, wona naji au madem like women going for women ama beef kwa hii game ya muziki. Do you think it's what positive can come out of it?
Sasa hapo ndo kwa maana tunarudi nyuma. Okay, kuna vingine ukiangalia beef unajua pia kuna beef ya Cloud Chase. Na pia kuna watu wanapenda beef juu wana follow up, unaona? Inaleta pia watu. Lakini kuna tu beef tu vingine si necessary.
Yeah.
Na sasa siwezi ongea sana kuhusu beef juu sijaisikia sahi. So sitaki kusema kitu sijui. Lakini mademu kwa mademu nafaa tuinwane mbaya sana. Kama ni mabanda ku exchange ma beef na mistari tupate majamaa. Juu wale best nyang'anya hii space all these years. Unaona?
But okay, me the only reason I'd encourage beef ni ile healthy beef.
Healthy ya kuinuana.
Ya kuinuana, but ile that you encourage each other to return back to the mic, to return to the booth. And if I'm giving you hard, give me harder. Evil. So that at least tuinue game kiasi. So that more women are coming out. Because vile naona hii ya Snyder, at least there are more women who are coming out now and trying to come back at her the way she's coming at them. So I'm calling it healthy beef.
Healthy beef.
Healthy. You don't take it to the streets. You don't take it to the phone. You don't take it to social media, but you take it to the mic. So I'm hoping that it will wake up some people, because a lot of chiles, like you said, wamelala. Wamedoze, wamenyamaza. So they need to wake up. Na hiyo uoga pia. But there's the other thing we always talk about with MCs wakikuja kwa the vault. It's creating that safe space for a woman kuingia kwa studio na ile anaza do her work without being harassed. Unajua a lot of niyo uoga pia ni ile kuingia studio na you're with a man in the studio na ujui kenya atafanya, ujui nia yake, ujui kenya anafikiria, you don't know what he'll do. So hiyo ni ile for the producers also to create a space yenye women are able to go into the studio and do their work, because the time kulikuwa na female FMCs walikuja from Dandora na walikuwa nasema bado kuna maisha za SGBV kwa studio. That's why you won't find a lot of ladies going to the studio. So I think it's that encouragement of, or raise up other female producers.
Yeah,
that's the next thing.
Bila sema personally dance artist lazima kuwe kichwa ngumu, lazima kuwe kichwa mbaya. Unaona, lazima na harsh reality. Unaongea uogopi, iko vile iko tu, mtu achukue ama akatae. Sasa vile umesema unapeleka maneno kwa mic kwa studio na record, nikomwambia mafoni hiyo ni poa. Mimi niko na kitu ya kusema musema. Kama sasa niko na niko na vibe, mtu pa vibe every 24 hours. Najita Ital vibes. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, kokote. Unaona, hiyo sawa ngania kupasha watu tudogo. Unaona, kama kuna kitu kunifurahisha mahali fulani, mimi ndaisema hapo. Nasema eti niwe na ani kama ni nini. Tunahapenia pia watu wengine. Hiyo kuogopa kuopen up sasa ndio mademu nafaa waache sasa. I think if you lead the way, people would be more, because first of all when you OG kwa game, umekuwa both genres, yani when you cross over tena very easily. So I think sasa if you become more of a presence, I think there are more women who come out and say, "Nye, hata mimi nasaifanya." You'll be some sort of a role model. Sili hata yako the ini yako sasa as an artist, and you're now as in giving hope to others who are saying, "Okay, nyewe, if she can do it, I can." Nakumbuka hata Femi One back then akis. Sio alikuwa how old your time? Alikuwa class 10 ama alikuwa 10 years. Sikumbuki. Mimi ndio nilikuwa mkubwa hapo. Yeye na kale academy mwingine alikuwa ngana rapigi nako. Unaitwaje? Walikuwa kwa wawili, Femi One na mwingine hapo hivyo.
Lakini ni G Rongi na nakumbuka
academy. Tukienda hiyo trip ya South Africa, unaona. So hiyo time ndio nilikuwa lakini sasa niko proud cause naona sasa yako wapi, ako top. Akuachilia hip hop, akuachilia uko fulani. Alingangana sasa nataka kichwa ngumu kaa hiyo. Unaona, unakaa na wanaume meza moja mnakula ugali. Si ati unashaye off hatuwezi kula na wanaume sijui nini. So naweza penda nasema big up. Big up kwa Odem kabisa. Na namtambua bado.
Speaking of bigging up, as we finish off, who else are you going to big up on this?
Big up my daughter, Ital Princess.
Ish, very pretty princess.
Yeah, big up Lion Paw family. Back man, Badman Bafutsafu. Big up Linda. Asha. Big up Paul the Rasta. Yeah, big up kila mtu, all the Massive and crew, Ital Vibes na Ital Candy watu wana follow. Big up. Na pia naweza penda kuwatupia kama moja hivi. Naona vitu zinahappen kwa streets, vijana wachane mambo mingi, mambo ya drugs, guns, manini. Na tunaambia every day youth man get mad in the city. Policeman na boss said them dead with them glizzy. And the way straight pa easy. These are serious times, yeah. If you live by the gun, no matter how you bad done, you are gonna die by the gun same way. Tell them.
Yeah. Hey. I wish you could have done that again. You think the guys are getting started in the studio, Andy? What?
Yeah.
But women need to come together.
Kabisa.
At the same time, this is a problem that I have. Producers need to come together. Producers are proud. They're like, oh,
producers wanashindana.
Yeah, that's the problem. Me, I don't believe in that thing. I believe in coming together with other producers. I don't believe that thing. I need to be up there. In fact, me, I don't look to be the best as a producer. I look to enjoy the art that I put out.
Right.
But I don't look like I'm fighting to be the best. So I'm putting down other producers doing their things.
Right.
Let's work together.
Right.
You know, I see it all the time, even abroad. You'll find that two production houses that are very different work together, you know, to bring out a product that is important for the industry.
Right.
And so artists, producers need to come together. But this is what I want to ask Ital Candy. In this time of 2023, as an artist, as a businesswoman, what are you exactly looking for from a producer, a manager? Because unasema pale umekuwa, it's like sometimes things don't add out the way you need them to add out. So if someone looked at you right now and say, hey, nataka sign Ital Candy, what are you looking for? Because a lot of people say natafuta deal. So deal gani unatafuta?
Mimi napenda mtu atunaza kwa maana mimi. Unaona mtu die hard. Na muziki mtu anakuambia Candy hapa fanya hivi. Sasa anakuachilia tu juu sasa wewe ni artist. Wewe usha record umemaliza sawa tunaona acha mimi ndakuita nikisha mix taki mtu ka huyo. Mtu anakuambia ndio najua wewe ni mkali lakini hapo fanya hivi hapa fanya hivi. Unaona? Tunasukumana na mtu ako serious akisema kitu akipromise kitu ana deliver. Unaona tusiangushane. Sema kuwa hapa kuwa mahali fulani kwa mahali fulani. Unaona? Mtu ako serious. Na mtu take serious pia.
Alexa the DJ says, big up the beatmaker. Sharon Mwai says, she sounds awesome. Yes, she sounds awesome.
Thank you.
Kabla tumalize, please just leave us with another one. And then the next time unakuja tunafanya cypher. Because itabidi sasa uingie cypher sasa na G Rongi. We usually have the vault cyphers. Koja watch the show. Watch. Sasa because we were prepared for today, we're going to invite you again into studio. And we have to do the vault cipher. And then we're going to invite you again into studio. We do your own rhythm sasa. You bring in other artists. Because let me tell you, talent like yours should never be hidden. Never, ever, ever. So leave us with one more freestyle. We're ready with our cameras. We're ready for you. Let's go.
Yeah, before I do that, first of all, kwanza acha niambie padi mtanifuata.
Oh, yes. Tutamalizia na hiyo.
Tutamalizia na hiyo. Niache kibele.
Kwanza.
Okay, sawa. Kumi lady mina gaga pandi beans like snagga pa me weird and grab a killer breed na swagger. I tell rather than bloody. Tuko icon them. Sawa. Yeah.
I could spend the whole day with you in studio, but for now, we gotta go. Thank you so much, Ital Candy, for being here with us. Before we go, where can we find you? Tunaweza pata muziki yako wapi? Tunaweza kusupport wapi? Lay it all down.
Tukianza na Facebook, na account ka zote. Kuna Ital Candy. Wewe usichanganikiwe useme ati huyu ni mtu mwingine amekopi Candy, hapana. Kuna Ital Candy, kuna Ital Don Dada, kuna Streets Don Dada.
Okay.
Sawa. Haya, TikTok ni Ital Candy, at Ital Candy. Instagram same way. YouTube at Ital Candy. Kwa tunawaambia listen and like, comment and share. Now forget to subscribe. Na zikishika my fans, hapana ogopa kushare. And spread Ital vibe. Katembe. Tembe ile mbaya.
Love it.
Ital is.
I love it. Okay, again, thank you so much, Manze. You've been such a vibe.
Thank you.
It's been amazing having you in studio.
Nice to see
I have to thank
again,
yes. I have to thank G Rongi for putting this together, even if it's that I didn't make it. I don't think he was in your show at Sana in Kabete. But yes, thank you so much for being here. We look forward to your career. We look forward for you trailblazing whatever you're going to do. We're looking forward to your video. We're looking forward to what Ital Candy will bring to the Kenyan scene.
Nakuja na ubaya.
Kabisa. And I trust you on that.
Just be ready for me, kabisa.
Trust. Yeah. Trust. Jimmy, any parting words before we head out?
Yeah. This is definitely a blessed up day at Icon Radio, where we're privileged to have Ital Candy today. And as we wind up, just know, like, to go check out her music, check out what she's doing. You know, give your support to Kenyan artists, you know, and keep on blazing that trail, because we need each other. The problem with the Kenyan music scene is that anytime an artist puts out music, before you even heard it, you've heard it, you say, "Ahuya, go down." Yeah. You know, you don't even give you a chance to listen to it. Go listen to the music. And if you feel there's something that you want to say to the artist to uplift them, or they could have done something better, then let them know. But don't have just that hate mentality. So as we wind up today, it's been blessed. As my boy Levis would like to say, as he says on his jams, free up yourself. Yeah. Free up. Free up yourself this week.
Yes. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We have unfortunately come to the end of the show. We wish we had more time. Of course, you can always follow, like, and of course, subscribe to Ital Candy's music. You can also be listening. You'll now be able to listen to her music also on Icon Radio K. We'll be streaming it back to back on our station. We'll find you again, guys, next time. But of course, like we always say, hip hop ni culture love. Usisahau.
Sister, how?